Amazon abuse has officially hit the mainstream. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur, and aside from talking about Uber and Lyft, I am actually quite critical of Amazon.com. Now, my anti-Amazon videos are not nearly as popular as my Uber and Lyft videos because a lot of my viewers actually like buying from Amazon, and they don't want to think about where their products are coming from, and they feel kind of insulted that I want to ran their parade and kind of suggest they might want to shop somewhere else. And yet, the funny thing is, John Oliver, famous night comedian, has actually addressed the rampant abuse of Amazon to the economy, to their workers, to everything, and has created the perfect catchphrase to explain people's how should we say aloofness towards Amazon's practices. However, before we talk about any of that, let's have a word from our sponsors.
Thanks, Kevin. Hi, I'm Jonathan with gigworker.com, and we've been commissioned to conduct a survey by an insurance company that's getting ready to put out a new insurance product specifically for Uber and Lyft drivers. But they want to get some information from drivers that will help them tweak the insurance so it really fits our needs. So I wanted to invite you to participate in the survey because they're going to use your answers to help them design the cheapest Uber and Lyft insurance available. Not only will it be cheaper, but it will cover a lot more, like lost wages when you can't work because your car is in the shop. Think about that. So if you're an Uber or Lyft driver, would you take about 5 minutes to complete the survey? Kevin said he'll leave a link down below in the description. If you could click on that at the end of the video, that would be great.
Amazon. Try not to think about it. That is what John Oliver has quoted to be a perfect catchphrase for Amazon. And this is brilliant because I don't know if you've ever looked up alternate catchphrases for or alternate slogans, because this is actually a slogan for companies, but they're really clever sometimes. Like Comcast, their alternate slogan is "F you," and for Pepsi, their slogan is Pepsi okay? Because, you know, the joke being that when you go to a restaurant, you ask for Coke and people say, is Pepsi okay? It's actually the opposite for me. I actually ask for Pepsi and then they say, is Coke okay? And I hear that a lot. But anyway, John Oliver was on his late night show, and this is a few days ago. I know I'm a little late, however, this video is being recorded well in advance. That's why I'm wearing the same t-shirt for the whole week. And this was in anticipation of Prime Day, which might have even passed as of this recording. I don't know. I don't shop at Amazon, so I don't know when Prime Day is. But it says, in anticipation of Amazon Prime Day, John Oliver dedicated Sunday nights last week tonight to e-commerce, specifically conditions in warehouses operated by online retailers. According to Oliver, working in such facilities can be, well, dangerous. Quote, I didn't know there were jobs more dangerous than those, except rodeo clowns, Oompa Loompa, or shark dentists. See, he might be a flaming liberal, but he's really funny. As Oliver tells it, some warehouses are too hot and operate at a breakneck pace, especially at companies that offer same-day or next-day shipping. Amazon is not the worst actor, but being not the worst is a low, low bar, he said. Now, here's the thing. I would probably argue it's pretty much the worst if you're in America. Yeah, if you go overseas and you go to like some of these other foreign countries where they have the sweatshops and stuff, things are going to be worse there. Obviously, Amazon has some sort of regulations they have to answer to. However, they do push the line as far as they can in terms of what is decently acceptable on how to treat their employees. So I would say in America, personally, Amazon is the worst when it comes to warehouses and stuff. But yes, you're right. In terms of like the grand global scale, then maybe they're not the worst, but that's a very low bar. He said online retailers were the Michael Jackson of shipping. They are the best at what they do. Everyone tries to imitate them, and no one who learns a thing about them is happy that they did. Oh, sorry. And no one who learns a third thing about them is happy that they did. Yeah, that's important because, well, here's the thing. I've got my own opinions on the Michael Jackson thing. I mean, look, the guy was undoubtedly creepy. However, we did try him in court twice. He was found guilty at least one time. Speaking of which, there he is in the... There he is right below me. And that full Leaving Neverland documentary, it did not have enough substantial proof to convince me that he did something, although his relationship with people is definitely off. However, assuming that's true, yeah, it's right. Everyone wants to be Michael Jackson. They want to be the producer. They want to have the great music. They want to have the moves. And if they never learn anything else, that's all they really care about. Same thing with Amazon. He went on to discuss the reported conditions in Amazon's warehouses and the complaints about them posted by former employees on YouTube and lawsuits against the giant. All of that is just so customers can get rubber hose masks that they forgot all about until they arrive in 2 days or less. Because, yeah, there's a lot of people who now buy so many things online that they actually forget they bought it. I know people, and I'm not encouraging people do this, just making it absolutely clear, don't do this, I don't do this, who run eBay stores and Amazon stores. And people will buy things, and they've got the merchandise, but they don't ship it out. And what they do is they wait for someone to send an email saying, hey, is this on the way? Like, oh, sorry, I must have gotten lost in the mail. Here, we'll send it out right now. And then they ship the item. And they do this because people buy so much stuff from these sites that if something doesn't show up, there's a good chance they might not realize they never got what they paid for. And if they ever do realize it, it's late into the game. Sometimes it's too late to even do anything about it. Again, do not do that. That is fraud. That is outright fraud. However, it supports his comment. That's why I'm sharing that story. I don't want to give anyone any ideas. And if you say like, well, I got the idea from Apptrepreneur, he said it's like, yeah. You know what? I told you not to do it. So I'm explaining why he makes a comment like this. So anyway, with that in mind, before Prime Day Mania hit, Oliver suggested a new slogan for the company. Amazon, try not to think about it. And unfortunately, I think that is how it works. I think there's a lot of people who don't think about it. And this isn't just Amazon. I mean, I was talking to someone at lunch, at the church lunch on Sunday. And this was, I guess this was a few days ago by the time you're watching this, but it was today for me. And we were talking about, well, here's the interesting thing. I've talked to them about like the abuses of Amazon for a long time, and it's kind of like in one ear, out the other. However, I talked to them about how Uber works. And maybe they were taking me a little bit more seriously because I obviously know a lot about Uber and I talk with them quite a bit. And they were shocked at how drivers are treated and how the price is calculated. They were not aware of the upfront pricing difference. They were not aware that drivers did not negotiate their fares. They were not aware of so many things, and they were quite offended. They said they would never use Uber again. I told them that it's probably not a good idea to use Lyft either, and if you absolutely had to use the services, tip in cash and tip generously, because I shared how there was like a lot of evidence that Uber was actually stealing the tips from people. So they were told this and their eyes were open, but Uber is something they could probably live without for most of their life. It's a lot harder to convince people who shop at Amazon to do that, especially if you've got someone who they actually brag about how they buy everything from Amazon. Like that's a contention of pride for them. I buy everything at Amazon. Well, who cares? Before then, people bought everything at Walmart. You didn't see other people like saying, hey, I buy everything at Walmart. Give me a badge. It's like, no. It's actually kind of sad when you're so wrapped up into one company's ecosystem that you won't go anywhere else. But that's another topic for another day. And for these people to be faced with the issues with these warehouses, never mind what this Amazon itself does to the local economy, the fact that they don't want to face these issues because they have too much invested into Amazon. To actually stop using the site would be, that would almost be like saying, hey, you can't drive anymore. Like, well, who wants to not drive anymore? And so Oliver found like a really neat way to actually address this problem and make it funny. And he did make it very, very funny. Now, I'm not going to show you the clip. Obviously, I'm going to share the link to this article below. You can play it there. The full skit is a heck of a lot funnier. Let me tell you that. However, I think this is maybe this might be a turning point for Amazon. I mean, not that John Oliver is the mainstream of mainstream. He's on HBO. However, if he's picking up on it, then it's probably not long before Jimmy Kimmel starts picking up on it. Maybe Jimmy Fallon picks up on it. At some point, people are going to start taking a harder look at how Amazon does these things. And when you factor in that Amazon does not pay taxes and that they are responsible probably for most of your childhood stores going out of business. We're talking about Toys R Us, the KB Toys, the Dimple Records, like all these things. Maybe Suncoast? Sure, why not? When you factor in that Amazon has contributed to the deaths of all these stores, maybe they're not so noble anymore. Maybe you don't want to have anything to do with them. I don't know. Either way, I'm going to continue talking about Amazon. I know that there's probably some news about the AB5 bill later on. We'll see about doing a live stream later on. Again, this was recorded in advance because I just needed to, and you know why now. So anyway, I would like to know, what do you think of John Oliver's assessment of Amazon? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think it was funny, whether you agreed with it or didn't agree with it? I would love to know. So comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but even as little as $1 goes a long way to helping this channel run smoothly, and you get access to my Patreon's exclusive blog. And if gas prices are getting you just a little down, check out the Get Upside app below. It's totally free, and you get cash back on every gas purchase. If you want more content from me, check me out at Kevin T. Rodriguez and the Apptrepreneur vlogs on YouTube. A little different from what I normally do here, however, might be worth your time anyway. And if you want to talk to me or other fellow e-commerce sellers, check us out on Facebook at the Apptrepreneur Hangouts. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.